Welcome back, everyone, to Open Line. Talking about the housing market in Nashville. Talking with real estate broker Gabriela Lira. She's with Compass. She's been working with them for over a decade. And I wanted to ask you, Gabriela, looking at inventory, I came across this line. The United States is now in the bizarre situation of having more real estate agents than homes to sell. So it sounds like there are lots of people that are real estate agents and not even, not as many homes. What about that situation?
So when the market's hot, everyone and their cousin wants to get into real estate. People see it from the outside and they think, oh, it's so glamorous. All you do is show these beautiful homes all day and the money's good, and barriers to entry to become a real estate agent are very low, which is absolutely shocking to me, because if you think about it, purchasing a home is generally the biggest asset someone has. So you should hire a professional that has experience, is knowledgeable about the market, can represent you well. But they make the barriers to become a real estate agent very low. You have to take classes, you have to take a very easy test, and here you are, here's the license. So in other professional professions, such as, being a doctor, an attorney, you have to go to med school. You have to, go to law school. There are very few requirements to get into real estate. And that is why when the market's hot, everyone wants to get in. What those people don't know, joke's on you, is that it's so much harder right now to practice real estate than it's been in the past. Because like I said, you're doing 5-6 times the work for your buyers. For example, you're writing multiple offers before one actually gets accepted. For sellers, you're getting 20 offers on one property. So you've had to come up with systems to be able to help your clients fairly evaluate those offers and select the winner based on their particular situation. So it's actually much harder right now to practice real estate than it's been in the past.
Do you think it should be tougher to become a real estate agent or broker? I mean, you said the barriers to entry. Should there be more barriers to entry?
Absolutely. There is no doubt in my mind, when you are dealing with such an important asset that people own, generally the largest asset that anyone owns, that there should be higher barriers to entry.
And what would you like to see?
Well, perhaps some level of a professional school like doctors and lawyers have to go to, more training, more continuing education every year. And I'm sure this is not going to make me very popular amongst my colleagues for making all these suggestions, and I will get off my high horse right now. But it is a very important profession. I take my job very seriously, and I try to elevate the industry every opportunity I get.
Now, also reading here, it says, typically experts say a market is healthy and balanced if there is a 6-month supply of homes.
That's right.
That 6-month supply, are we anywhere near a 6-month supply of homes?
Absolutely not. We are so low. We are in the unhealthy supply of homes right now because there's so much demand and so little inventory. And builders, they can't build them fast enough.
Are builders, I've heard there's not as much incentive for builders perhaps to build starter homes, that they're building these big homes, but they're not building homes for first time or maybe even second time home buyers. Is that true? What about that issue?
Sure. I think that builders should get incentivized. I think that the city should put together some incentive programs to have builders build workforce housing and build more affordable housing. We definitely have an affordable housing problem in the city.
Now, I've done some stories about real estate investment trusts or Wall Street kind of backed firms that come in and they buy single family homes and they turn around and rent them. and it's speaking to the demand for single-family homes. They have unlimited cash, and then they can come in and buy sight unseen. They don't really care about the condition because they're going to put it to their specifications. Anyway, again, unlimited cash. Is that something you're seeing? Are you seeing these Wall Street-backed firms, these real estate investment trusts? What impact are they having? What are you seeing there?
I am seeing that. They come in and they buy entire subdivisions before they're even complete. So entirely new subdivisions, they'll come in and they'll buy all of them, or they will select certain areas of interest based on some algorithm that they have, and they go in and they start buying them up, and then they'll buy one at a pretty high rate. So a price that's much higher than what they've purchased the other homes for, because now what they're trying to do is they're trying to set the price point for the other homes that they've already purchased. It's very sneaky what some of these people are doing, and it's not helping our first-time home buyers, that's for sure.
That's fascinating. So you are seeing that. That's something that's happening.
Yes.
And that's new,
Absolutely.
right? I mean, again, you've done this 10 years. Is this that's a pretty new thing?
Yeah, I'd say the Zillows of the world are newer players in the market, the open doors, but these REITs going out and buying entire subdivisions, it's not new.
Mm-hmm. Very interesting. All right, well, let's walk through again a situation. You talked about a buyer that you had that was trying to buy in the Nations, which is a subdivision here in Nashville, and kind of what they went through. Walk us through, if you could, a situation, either a client of yours or one that you're aware of, a seller, and what they kind of thought about what they went through.
Sure. So it all starts as you're thinking of putting your home on the market and putting your best foot forward. So for all of my listings, I bring in a professional stager who makes the house just look absolutely beautiful. We talk about any repairs that need to be done, any way to maximize the value of their home. And we come up with our pricing strategy, which, like I said, we run comparables and we go maybe a little bit over to be aggressive. And in the past, I would say to allow for some negotiation room, but that's out the window in this market. So we price aggressively. We put it on the market. We usually do a little teaser coming soon campaign 24 hours before it goes on the market to stay compliant. It goes on the market. People start calling the appointment center to get an appointment to go in and see it with their buyers. The entire weekend is filled up. Before we even did that, we already expected multiple offers. And so we came up with our strategy. We'll allow people to see it over the weekend. We will take offers up to Sunday at 8 p.m. And we'll tell everyone that our response time will be Monday at noon. So by Sunday evening, I have 15 offers, and this is true story, happened to me for a home I listed in Bellevue. We had 15 offers. We listed the house. I want to say we were at about $624,000. And ultimately, we ended up accepting an offer that was $750,000. After these multiple offers, yes, after these multiple offers, push the price point up. The buyer ended up waiving their inspection. It was a fairly new home. They also ended up waiving their appraisal. And so my client was guaranteed the $750,000 that they ultimately walked away with.
All right, that's amazing. Part of me again though is concerned, but that's amazing. I mean all right, so we're talking about a Bellevue house, $624,000, and you already priced that aggressively. You're saying that was already aggressive. And then it sells for $750,000. And so I guess my first question, and I probably have several, but you price it aggressively, you're expecting multiple offers. There is the issue of supply and demand. What if that owner had said, yeah, you say this house is worth $624,000, I don't need 15 offers, I just need one. Why don't we just price it at $900,000? I mean, did they just throw out some outrageous figure? And why not?
Sure.
Why not do that? Why not try and just get one offer and price it at some outrageous amount?
So I had that seller as well, and they wanted to price significantly. It was a luxury home, but they still wanted to price it significantly over market value. And the market said no. The market said absolutely not. We're not even going to come see your home because you are so grossly overpriced. We're not doing that.
So that does happen. There is a point where they say no. But I guess if you can get into some kind of bidding situation, that's where prices can kind of keep escalating.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Very interesting. I'm fascinated by that. So it went for $750. You listed it for $624. So how common is that? Are you seeing that a lot? That kind of overage?
Not that kind of overage, but $50,000 over is becoming more and more common. So it's very common now.
Well, let me ask one more question. All right. So we've heard that there are going to be multiple offers. People are kind of aware of that. People are desperate to find a home. We've seen these situations where someone will write a heartfelt letter and saying something like, you know, my family wants this home. This would be a place we could, raise our family in a loving situation. Do those kind of letters, are you seeing those kind of letters, and do they factor into a buyer's decision to accept that contract? What are you seeing there?
So before the market was where it is now, we were seeing more of those letters. And I will tell you that now we see less of those letters. One, because real estate agents are being told that you might get into a situation where there might be some information disclosed that gets you in trouble with fair housing. So you could get into a fair housing violation by information disclosed within this letter. So you are seeing those letters less and less. I cannot tell you the last time when I represented a seller that I got one of those letters. I used to get them all the time, but I don't get them any longer. Even in the past, I planned with my sellers. I said, okay, we might get these sappy letters. Do you want to read them, or do you want me to hold back on those? And they would make that decision then.
And would you recommend that a client of yours do that or not?
No.
And do you think they work?
It depends who the seller is, and what their motivations are. If this is solely an investment property, or, they need the most money that they can get from this house, then that's probably not going to make a huge impact. If this is a person that's lived in this neighborhood 25 years, they care who this house goes to, they have a specific buyer in mind perhaps, then your letter might influence their decision more in those circumstances. But again, I am discouraging all of my clients and agents on my team from encouraging their clients to send those, because again, it could be a fair housing violation.
That's interesting. All right, we'll take a break. Continue our discussion. Be back right after this.